All right.
Alcoholism has become a serious epidemic among families. The American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry states that an average annual of 7.5 million children younger than the age of 18 live with a parent who has had alcohol use or use disorder in the past year. Many of these children face emotional abuse and neglect from growing up in a home where alcoholism dominates family life. The children not only suffer, the person or persons with the addiction may have serious complications that negatively impact their life and health. The spouse and child of the addict may also develop codependency. People who become codependent can suffer from many harmful psychological effects that may impact them for many years. Due to alcoholism damaging children, destroying families, and creating codependency, more people should take action to remedy their home from this problem. To start, the effect of the parental alcoholism may have catastrophic effects on children. Children affected by alcoholism develop many psychological complications. One complication that children face is guilt. Children affected by guilt may see themselves as the main cause of the mother or father's drinking. Some affected children may also develop serious anxiety problems. A child may worry constantly about his or her home situation. He or she may fear the alcoholic parent will become sick or injured, and may also fear fights and violence between their parents. Children may also become angry at their alcoholic parents for the drinking problem. Some children might even have resentment toward the non-alcoholic parent for lack of support and protection. As the children age, they are more likely to develop problems with substances themselves, and often start to use at an earlier age. Because these children start using alcohol at an earlier age, they have a greater risk of developing problems in other areas of life. Families with alcoholic problems should consider the effect that it has on their children and try to get help to remedy their addiction. Moreover, alcoholism not only affects children, but it destroys families. Alcoholism may cause mothers or fathers, husbands or spouses to depart from their families. Many addicts begin to neglect their responsibilities at home and work. Neglecting home and work responsibilities may cause many to become in debt and face losing their homes or jobs. Addicts not only face losing their homes or jobs, but they might also begin to lose their spouses and children. Oftentimes, alcoholics will drink during all family engagements. This usually leads to resentment and anger from the spouse and child. Alcoholism can eventually lead to health problems that can have devastating effects on the body. According to the Alcohol Research and Health, alcohol consumption has specific effects on the liver and pancreas, as evident by the existence of disease categories such as alcoholic liver disease, alcohol liver cirrhosis, and alcohol-induced acute pancreatitis. Alcoholic liver disease accounts for well over 1/3 of all liver disease deaths. The loss of a loved one to an alcohol-related death has many devastating effects on families. The death of a husband or wife causes an emotional upheaval for the spouse and child, but even worse, the death may force the remainder of the family into financial duress. These financial problems may force the family to downsize by moving to a cheaper home and by cutting back on their expenses. Alcoholics should consider the impact of their drinking and its effects on their family members, and try to get help to overcome their addiction before it's too late. Lastly, family members who are addicted to alcohol can make their spouse and child codependent. Codependency is also described as including attempts to try to control the alcoholic's drinking behavior by repeatedly seeking to control and or change the alcoholic despite the low success rate of their efforts. Codependency also causes many other psychological problems. One problem is low self-esteem. People with low self-esteem often have heavy self-criticism and dissatisfaction with themselves. They may also have an excessive will to please other people. When they fail to please said person, the codependent will begin to feel as though he or she has failed and will become to feel unworthy and unlikable. Codependents also often suffer from poor boundaries. Boundaries divide up what's yours and somebody else's, and that applies not only to your body, money, and belongings, but also to your feelings, thoughts, and needs. People with codependency also often feel they have a responsibility to resolve other people's problems and often overstep their boundaries to solve these problems. Although some codependents have very weak boundaries, others develop much more rigid ones. Those with rigid boundaries often shut down people and become withdrawn. People who become withdrawn often develop severe depression, and by being withdrawn create a vicious cycle that's hard to break. The fact that there is a possibility of creating dependency, alcoholics should consider all the consequences of their drinking. The effect of alcoholism on families is catastrophic. Alcoholism harms children and causes many serious long-term effects on their ability to handle their emotions correctly. Alcoholics may also lead to desertion of their family member due to the inability to cope with their life without alcohol. There is also a chance of creating dependency and trying to control the alcoholic's behavior. As a result, alcoholism should be handled correctly, and people should consider all the possible consequences of becoming dependent upon alcohol.